Hello and welcome back to videos about hardware, software and anywhere. This video will be about my oldest computer I own. It's one of my favorites. It still works very well. I'm just going to clean it, do a small inspection and add a network card. Nothing special. I just want to show you my 386 because it still works very well. This will be a video about the hardware only. Let's start with the keyboard. It's a BTC model 5339S. Just going to clean it up later. This is the front. It has a nice press click system. When you open it up, you can see the two disk drives, power switch, reset, turbo, and keyboard lock buttons. Let's remove the cover and check the inside. This is the temporary battery holder. I took an old remote, cut it in half, connected a wire to the plus and a wire to the minus, and used it as a battery holder. Time to take it apart. I'll start with the ISA cards. The first card is the sound card and it's an ESS AudioDrive ES1868F. This sound card is actually quite good. Next up is the video card. It's an Oak Technology Inc. OT-VGA, type OT-077 Revision A. I couldn't find this exact revision on the internet. These video cards aren't the greatest from what I've read on Vogon's forums, but I'm not complaining about its performance on this 386. The last ISA card is the IDE or IO-controller card. First, unplug the drive active LED. It has an IDE connector and a floppy drive connector. And it has 4 external ports, COM1, COM2, printer port and game port. It's from Redford Company Inc. It's a 16-bit ISA card with a WinBond W83757F. Disconnect the power supplies. This can be hard because it has these hooks at the end of the connectors. The hard drive inside this case is a contr CFA 270A with a capacity of 258 megabytes. It's still in very good shape. The 3.5-inch floppy drive is a Mitsumi, of course, model D359T3. Two screws on the other side too. Next is the 5.25-inch drive. It's also a Mitsumi. I never use it and I don't know if it fully works. It's in this system for the aesthetics. I might test it when I'm showing the software of the 386. Speakers, key lock, power LED, turbo switch, turbo LED, and reset switch. I can now remove the 200-watt power supply. The inside is very dirty, so let's clean it. And here are the power supply specs. Let's take a closer look. It's dusty, but I've seen worse. There, where the wires go to the print board, that's dusty. All cleaned up, and close it up again. Next up, remove the front. I have to remove 6 screws. Also, the inside of the front panel is dirty. The top cover looks dirty, but it's actually clean. Wow! The floppy disk drive looks very clean. Yes. Clean the heads with alcohol, and that's it. Can I do something with the 5¼ floppy drive? This drive also looks very clean, so I'm just gonna clean the heads. The final part we need to take out of the case, the motherboard. It's tied down with 1 screw and 5 plastic holders. That didn't sound nice. Wow. Let's take a closer look at the motherboard. The real 386 processor is the one on the right, the AMD DX-40. There's a lot of flux residue around the pins, so I also cleaned that up. UMC chipsets, WinBond cache memory, 120 kilobytes. The keyboard connector is a little bit loose, so I'm going to re-solder it. I'm going to remove this square nut and replace it with a better nut. Both nuts should actually fit over the plastic and not under the plastic, as you see here. I had to create a bigger hole for the new nut because the new nut was just a little bit bigger than the other one. Now it looks pretty decent again. Let's reseat the connector of the keyboard. First, I'm going to add some solder to all the pins. Hopefully this helps removing the solder and clearing the connector. Eventually I got the whole connector out of the motherboard. Let's use some contact spray on the connector. Whoops, that's too much. Get a good connection by inserting and removing. One connection had a bit too much solder on it, so I removed a little bit. Clean the surface with some alcohol. The reseated connector is now stuck to the board again and doesn't wiggle anymore.
It's better. Alright.
I haven't even told what motherboard I'm working on. It's an FX 3000 Revision 1.0 by Elitegroup Computer Systems, or ECS. It has 6 ISA slots and 8 memory banks. I filled them all with 1 MB DRAM memory sticks. The BIOS is a America Megatrends FE386011. You can find all the specifications on theretroweb.com. This will be my replacement battery socket for now. The only thing I have to do is solder the 2 wires to the small print board. I can just let this small socket sit inside my cabinet. The inside of the keyboard is pretty dusty. 5 more screws to release the print board plus keys from the case. Underneath each key is a spring. Decades of dust underneath the keys. After the cleaning of all the keys and removing all the dust, it's time to put the keyboard back together. The 2 rings from the keyboard wires have to be grounded to this back plate. All the small fixes have been completed. Time to reassemble.
Yes, 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 yes.
Don't forget to reconnect all the power cables. This is the new ISA card. It's a network card from SMC UltraChip 83C790QFP. Here you can configure the I/O IRQ hardware. It's set to connection 1, so it's set to software configuration. Much better. There are a lot of scratches on the metal case. If I would want to fix that, I would have to respray the whole case. I just removed all the rust spots. I removed the text from the back of the case and also some sticker residues. It looks nice and clean. Time to hook up the computer to all the cables and prepare it for the next video, the software side of the 386 computer. Keyboard plug, serial mouse port, that's this one, speaker audio, general MIDI out for the sound canvas, power cable, network cable, and the VGA monitor cable.
Getting one.
Okay, that's enough hardware for today. In the next video, I'll show all the software on the system. Just a lot of games. I'll do some system checks and add software for the network card and configure it. I also want to try some software for the OAK OTI-077 VGA video card because it should be able to display SVGA. And I have a weird result with a MCGA video option for one specific game. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to, and thanks for watching. Bye!